Magic City Comic Con, how you guys feeling? All right, we have a very special guest for this Q&A. Please help me in joining, or please let's put our hands together for Kristian Nairn. There he is.
Oh. Hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Hey guys, how are you? We have a very special guest, actually. Just because I don't like to do anything alone. Welcome, Finn Jones.
Woo.
Oh, hurry up.
I got bored signing, so I thought I'd come and hang out as well.
He was bored.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna open up the floor to some questions for you guys. Now, I do have to say, unfortunately, we are not allowed to ask about season 6. So if you try to ask, that's not gonna happen. We'll have to no, it's not gonna happen. Don't try to be slick about it. So we're putting a microphone right in the middle. I know it's a little bit intimidating, but any questions you guys may have, please come down to the microphone to ask Finn and Kristian.
Oh, here. The Hound approacheth.
No, it's not the Hound. It's Baratheon, isn't it?
No, it's the Hound.
No, it's Baratheon.
Who are you?
The Hound.
Duh.
What? I thought he was Robert. I thought he was like the young Robert Baratheon.
You're a twat.
Clearly.
It's the Hounds that give it away on his actual costume, you know. Anyway, I'm so glad I brought you.
Here's my question. Yeah. Who do you think should sit on the Iron Throne?
Wow, someone's excited. Well, me and Kristian actually have a really amazing theory. Do you want to? I mean, I don't want to speak all throughout your panel, so maybe.
I'll just go.
Okay. So we both think that by the end of the show, the throne won't be around anymore. There'll be a huge war between ice and fire, and in that war, they'll realize that there's Valyrian steel in the Iron Throne, and in order to combat the White Walkers, they'll have to dissolve the Iron Throne, both physically and, metaphysically. Mentally, yeah. To get rid of the White Walkers. So, and then there'll be nothing left. There'll be nothing left, and then there will just be a few people that come out of the ashes, maybe.
Like Bran and the people from the tree and the children.
And then they'll give power back to, the individual nations, the realms, whatever you call them.
Have we gone that far in our theory?
Yeah, I can keep on going.
Yeah, that's what we think.
Who do you think?
Jon Snow.
Oh, bore off. He's dead. Come on.
Valar Morghulis.
100%.
Character.
Yeah.
So just because he seems like a really intense guy, I was wondering if you guys ever actually got to meet George R.R. Martin, and what kind of a guy is he?
George is awesome. He and I, at premieres and stuff, we always seem to gravitate towards each other. I think it's a beard thing. And he's just, you know when you meet someone and you can tell that they're hyper intelligent, they're way more intelligent than you are. You can see there's a light in his eyes. He's got this malevolent intelligence. And he's terrifying as well. He can kill you in a single stroke. So it's always a good idea to buy him a drink. And he has have you ever met his wife, Paris? His wife is so nice. She's the nicest person. To me, she's like the mother of the Game of Thrones fandom. Before it was ever a TV show, she used to make all the banners of all the houses and stuff, and she'd put them up at all the events and everything. She's an incredible lady. So if you ever get a chance, you should meet her as well.
Thanks a lot.
Hello, Kristian. Hello, Finn.
Hi.
How you doing? Question for Finn. Do you think it's possible that you and your character and Cersei will maybe ever find love again?
Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? I think after what happened in season 5, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Okay, thank you. And then,
I think he'll kill her before he makes love with her. So.
Also, Kristian, if Hodor could ever speak his mind and tell Bran or someone else what he was thinking, what do you think he would say?
No. That's all. Bran would be like, "Hey, Hodor, carry me to that tree." I'd be like, "No." that was my impersonation of Bran. You like it?
Hey.
Hey.
It's pretty acute.
All right, thank you guys.
Hello. I had a very simple question. I just wanted to know, what was your favorite line? Was it Hodor or Odor?
Guess.
Was it Odor?
Yeah, it was that one.
Oh,
that one.
Oh, that's the best
You just want
one.
me to say it, so no.
How'd you guess?
Hodor.
What was
Thank
your
you.
favorite cast member that was killed off?
Favorite cast member who was killed, or favorite character, or
The cast member.
cast
Quite a
member?
few. I think it's between Michelle, who played Caitlin, and Pedro, who played Oberyn.
Yeah, I agree
For me,
with.
anyway.
I didn't get to meet Pedro. So,
Oh, right, no, but I just mean character-wise, like in the story.
character-wise, yeah, okay. Well, I think Michelle's death was probably the most. I really felt Michelle's death. I think she did probably one of the best jobs in the show so far during the Red Wedding. Yeah, and Robb Stark as well. You know, I think that was a double whammy of disaster.
Oh, and obviously Jon Snow,
Why would you say that?
because it was a
You
shocking
hate
death.
Jon Snow.
I hate Jon Snow. You hate Jon Snow.
No, I don't.
It's been very well documented that you hate Jon
It's very
Snow.
well documented. I don't actually hate Jon Snow. I'm just bored. The last year of my life has been people asking me, "Is Jon Snow dead?" I said, "I don't care. I don't care."
Thank
but
you.
I do care. I love Kit. He's amazing. So
He doesn't care. He doesn't care at all.
shut up.
Hey guys, this is more of a personal question. What would you say is your most offbeat or surprising hobby that you have?
What do I?
I think people. Yeah, most people know that I'm a DJ. So
I like to hike.
I challenge you to have a more offbeat one than the one I'm about to reveal.
Please.
No, go ahead.
Well, look, I like to hike. It's pretty boring. Oh, actually, I'm
Give me a
obsessed.
challenge, man.
I'm obsessed with. Have you guys heard of Flywheel? It's like spinning classes.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely obsessed with spinning classes. I do like one a day. All right,
You've
I'm
been in
boring.
California too long.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, this is in the past. I used to supply the local zoo with guinea pigs.
That's pretty random.
Yeah, I used to have guinea pigs, right?
Yeah.
I had pedigree ones. Not anymore, by the way. They're all dead. I used to have pedigree guinea pigs, and I used to supply them for an exhibit at the local zoo.
Wow, you're like a guinea pig pimp,
Like Noah.
like Noah.
Yeah, but they all died in one night.
What?
Why? What
Yeah,
happened?
it was spring, and we had like a flash frost, and they all froze to death. I fucking hated them, so I was really happy.
Thanks.
My mother had to clean up the frozen corpses, so it's so true as well. That's the thing.
Would you guys ever DJ together?
We have done.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, we have done a few times.
But anytime in the future?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hi. My question is, what is your favorite character death?
No, we haven't had it this Q&A. What? That question? Yeah, favorite character death. The
Sorry.
death. Favorite character's death. Ooh. So many of them, isn't there?
So many to choose from. Well, I always go back to Ned Stark. I know it's a boring one, but I just think it's because that was so pivotal. And I think that was the moment that people realized that nothing was going to be, like Game of Thrones wasn't the standard show where everything was hanging in the balance and no one was safe.
I liked Oberyn's death. I liked the fact that there was real tension leading up to it, and you didn't know who was going to win, and then that last moment it all flipped, and it was really gruesome as well. And, yeah, and the sword play beforehand was amazing. Like Pedro's fighting the mountain was a really good fight. So, yep.
Who is your least favorite person to work with on set?
This one. He's such a diva.
So we never worked together for a start.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Everyone, I can't say a bad word about anybody. I could. No, I won't. No, seriously, no. Everyone's really cool.
Yeah, everyone's amazing, and we're not just saying that because we're up here. Like, it's true. Everyone is super down to earth. Everyone puts all their passion into the show. It's probably one of the best casts in television history.
I think there's a misconception about from the outside of the acting community that people like behave like assholes. If you behave like an asshole in today's acting world, you won't get work.
Well, I think in America there are still a lot of assholes, like American productions.
You're moving here, aren't you?
Huh?
You're moving here, aren't you?
Yeah, because I am an asshole.
Yeah.
But I think there's something about British actors.
And Britain, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a real respect for everyone in the craft, and yeah, you don't really get many divas in the UK, except for me and Kristian.
Yeah. And also, the Game of Thrones cast at the start was a lot of unknown actors and a lot of sort of old guard actors as well. So it was a real mix of people. So
yeah,
it was interesting.
My question's for you, Kristian. During season 4, when you were carrying around Bran Stark, did he ever get too heavy? You just had to set him down sometimes?
All the time. All the time. The guy is like 6 foot tall now, isn't he? Yeah, he's like 6 foot tall. There is a double Hodor actually, though. I have a not a body double, like not from like Basic Instinct. There's a guy who, like from behind or whatever, sometimes if the scene's been done 79 times, which it often does, he would take over some of the lifting, but it's incredibly hard work. Yeah. I just wish he would stop eating. You know, his mum insists on feeding him. But he's a great kid. He's not too heavy, actually. He's just really lanky. He's like trying to he's all legs and arms, trying to bundle him up. It's really difficult.
Will we see more of you two in season 6? Sorry? Will we see more of Hodor? And
we are back for season 6, yeah. We're back, yeah.
All right, thank you.
What's going on, y'all? First and foremost, I want to wish you the most amazing, most passionately euphoric weekend of 2016. And in addition, my question to you is, out of all of the episodes you have ever done, which one would you say personally that you are most proud of? And proud in capital letters.
Honestly, and this is it's not a cop-out, but I feel bad doing this to you guys, but the stuff I'm most proud of, you haven't seen yet. It's in the new episodes.
Oh, so you are
I don't like to watch myself. I hate to watch myself act.
I respect that.
But for the first time ever, I was like, yeah, I'm really happy. So I'm very happy with some of the new stuff. Apart from that, I really like the episode where I killed Locke. I got a bit of action. And it was nice to play a completely different type of character, a different type of Hodor. Like I was able to play Isaac playing me. You know what I mean? I was like playing an actor playing another actor. It was quite complicated, but it was a lot of fun. I was quite proud of that as well. What about you?
You know what? I'm actually the same. Some of my proudest work, I've not seen it back yet, but is in season 6. I like season 5 stuff as well. I like the trial scene, but there's a lot of, especially in season 6, there's a lot of scenes that really tested me and pushed me, and yeah, I think I'll be proud of them when I see them. So.
Oh, by the way, you remind me of Zed the DJ.
Oh.
Because you kind of look like him.
Oh, thank you. I don't know who that is, but I'll Google it.
Doesn't fucking sound like him.
Zed, the one that sings Stays the Night with Hayley Williams from Paramore.
Oh, right. I'll check it out.
Okay. And
Thanks,
with that said, to spread some lyricism, wishing you and your twin flame the most amazing future full of indelible memories of incredible energy. You will forever reminisce and cherish throughout the century, for today, tomorrow, and to forever eternity.
Woohoo! Yeah!
Thank you, man.
Los Folio the Guido.
Right on, more like this. You can only ask for a question now if you're going to rap. That's the new rule. Come on.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Do you prefer the Lord of Light or the many-faced God?
Ooh, great question. Ooh. Thing is, we just don't know enough about them, do we? Really, about especially the Lord of Light. Like, we don't know the pure intentions, because like the Lord of Light's meant to be this really. I'm gonna say the many-faced God because I don't know enough about the Lord of Light, especially the way that Melisandre is using him. So yeah, many-faced God, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm gonna admit I don't love the storyline. So I kind of don't really pay attention.
What the many-faced god storyline?
No, the Melisandre part.
Oh, you do not?
No, I'm not a big fan. You know, I think obviously Carice is great as Melisandre.
Just not your
But
bag.
I just don't love that storyline, so I don't pay attention. I'm gonna have a cup of tea, you know, or feed my guinea pigs. Yeah.
So you go for the many-faced god?
I don't know much about that either.
You're just going to be like an atheist?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen season 5 yet. Isn't that terrible?
Have you not?
No.
Why not?
I can't be arsed.
Because you're not in it.
I mean, I've been traveling the world for the last year.
Oh, shut up. You can watch on airplanes on your iPad. Don't give me that. That is
Sorry,
a weak excuse.
All right. If you guys could play another character from the show, who would it be and why?
I like to play... I like to play Theon, I think. I think Theon's a great character. For an actor, you've got a real arc, and he's not clean-cut bad. Like, you really understand why he's doing what he's doing, and the struggle that he's going through. And I just think it would be nice to play that whole arc. So, yeah.
And I would like to play, I think, someone who's completely opposite to Hodor, probably Varys.
Yeah.
Someone who's, obviously Hodor is physical, and what he does with his body and facial expressions are important. But for Varys, he's very verbal, you know, and what he says is very important. So it'd be good to play someone completely different. Like, I love Varys. He's one of my favorite characters.
One more question. Do any of you guys have like any Game of Thrones tattoos or anything? No?
I did think about once getting the Tyrell rose, and then I just thought, nah. It'd be too much.
I mean, it would mean something different to me. It's not, it wouldn't be my celebration of the show, really. It would mean, because it's changed my life so much, it would be more like marking a life event. But no, I don't think it would. I don't think
Maybe
it would.
once the show's passed, maybe it'd be nice something to do at the end of it, but I think... Yeah, maybe.
But there's other fantasy things which I like more. Can I say that?
Do you have one? Do you have a Game of Thrones tattoo? He's walking away.
Oh, do I have one? No. Maybe in the future. I love your show. Like, I watch
Thank
it
you.
all the time.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I really don't watch that much television. Like, I'm really into like working out and stuff. But I love Game of Thrones.
Hey, working out in Game of Thrones, it's the only things you need in the world, right? That got more of a woo than I thought. All right,
Thanks,
thank you.
man.
Hello again. So, I don't know if this one's been asked in the past, but if you guys could bring back any dead character from Game of Thrones, who would it be and why?
Probably Michelle, probably Caitlin, I reckon. What do you think?
I mean, I answered this yesterday. It's boring. Boring. No, my answer is boring.
Oh, okay.
I would like to see, because between if Bran hadn't fallen from the tower and if Ned Stark hadn't died, I think the Game of Thrones would be a completely different, probably very boring show. But I would like to see how different it would have been, because I think those are two very crucial timeline happenings. So bring Ned Stark back. I think he was such an amazing character also. But it's a safe answer, I'm afraid. But I want to see what would happen. I'd like to see a bit more of Sean Bean as well.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Question for the both of you. What other actors would you like to see play your characters?
I'm a vain bastard. I wouldn't want to see anyone take my role.
It would be really weird. It would be strange. I can't tell you who, but there were a couple of names bandied about to play Hodor before I was. And even to think of those people, it's kind of like, God, it would have been so different. It would have been so different. God, who could play Hodor? John Goodman, maybe? Maybe someone like that, I don't know. Vin Diesel could probably voice it. You know, do an animated version. What about you?
I have no idea. No idea.
Ponce.
Some Ponce.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think Jaime Lannister's character could play yours. His actor.
Yeah. Well, that's a nice thing in the books. They touch upon that.
You can actually swap you two. I think you can swap your roles. You can play.
Yeah. Well, that's in the books. There's a whole play on Jaime and Loras, and they're like kind of. Jaime sees a lot of himself in Loras when he was younger, so he tries to kind of tutor him and like basically tell him to stop being such an arrogant dick.
I haven't read the books.
Thank you.
Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Oscar. I'm just wondering, will Hodor ever find love in Game of Thrones?
Oh, forever alone. No.
He kind of found love with Isaac, with Bran,
That is
you know?
really weird.
No, come on. I mean, like, you know, no,
it's
not.
I think you're right. I mean,
You know,
in
Hodor
his
has love.
His simplistic way.
Hodor is probably one of the only characters in the show that actually has love. You know, you like that true connection between you and Isaac is one of deep, you know.
It's true.
Connection.
It is true, but not that type of love.
Yeah, okay, not that kind of love. Obviously,
but-
you're not going to bone Bran. Come on, that's weird.
Don't even say that.
I won't be able to watch that scene, I don't think.
No, that's a horrible.
Yeah, that would be a step
horrible-
too far.
Horrible remake. But I said this as well. I would love to see. I think he would be attracted to Brienne because she can look him in the eye for a start, you know, and she's a fantastic, strong, powerful woman. And as I said before, I would like to have a monster race of 8-foot-tall babies under my control to rule the world.
I bet now there's going to be like tons of fan fiction of the adventures of Bran and Hodor and Brienne.
www.hodorlovestories.com. All right, guys, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Adrian. What's it like working with the females in the show?
They're great. Yeah. They're fucking amazing. Like all the women in the show are really powerful, wonderful women that are just like really generous, and there's no bullshit with them, and they're great actresses, and I think it's an honor. I feel like it's an honor to work with all of the women on Thrones. They do such a great job.
Cool. Thank you.
With Maisie Williams recently in some episodes of Doctor Who, and Natalie Dormer in her new movie The Forests, we're seeing some of the Game of Thrones characters or actors and actresses do new things. What do you guys have coming up, not Game of Thrones?
I just shot a film. It's called Leatherface. It's a prequel. It's a prequel to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So it's basically how Leatherface became Leatherface. It's really good, actually. It's directed by these two French guys. So it's got a really nice, cool, like almost art house European horror feel to it. And the story's really interesting as well. It's not like kind of your usual tacky horror flick. It's
What's it
actually
called?
quite- Leatherface.
Leatherface?
Yeah, Leatherface.
Do you know when it
Yeah.
comes out yet? I've seen stuff
I
about
think
it.
it was, they were saying something. They wanted to bring it out. I think February for Valentine's Day, but I think they had to. Yeah.
That's romantic.
Yeah, right. But I think they might have pushed it back a little bit, so I'm not sure. Probably between February and April. So, yeah.
And I've just shot a movie for Sci-Fi Channel, Mythica. Has anyone seen any of the Mythica movies? No. Just like yesterday. How depressing. It's Mythica 5, so obviously the first 4 went well. I've got a movie coming up, like a Roman-style movie, with Rutger Hauer and Bram Blessed, and I've just signed up to a new Netflix show, and also I've got an album coming out probably later in the year of my own music. So, and then I'm going to tour as well in the middle of all that somehow. I'll probably be in hospital for some while with exhaustion, but it's great. I mean, I'm really lucky. I get to do what I love. So.
Thank you.
I'm actually supposed to be on holiday now. This is my holiday. Hi.
Hey guys.
Fuck you.
Hey guys. Curious. Have you guys on set been starstruck by anybody? If so,
Yes.
whom? Plenty of times, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, not on set. I have a really embarrassing story, actually. It was from the season 4 premiere in New York, and I hadn't ever met Charles Dance, and I'm a huge Charles Dance fan from Alien 4 or Alien 3, and everything he's done, I'm a huge fan. And I saw him, and I said, this is my chance to fangirl. So I was like, Charles, it's so nice to meet you. Shook his hand. He's been very gracious, because I was completely spazzing out, really. And then I saw this little presence to his right-hand side, and it was Sally Field. And I'm the biggest Sally Field fan in the world. And I was in mid-conversation with Charles, and I was like, so Charles, are you Sally Field? And then he was like, gone. I didn't even finish the sentence. I didn't see him again. He just walked off. So I completely fangirled over Sally Field and then ignored Charles. And it was really embarrassing because she was absolutely terrified. Sally Field is so small and petite and beautiful still. And I was like sort of somehow turned into like a Tyrannosaurus Rex over her. And it was really strange. She was horrified.
No one for you. All right.
Hi. This is really okay. So I just started watching Game of Thrones. So I'm only past season 1, but this question is for my boyfriend, and he's like the biggest fan. It's a question for you. And he said if you're satisfied with the decisions of your house, and if not, which house would you be in?
Am I satisfied with the decisions of my house?
Yeah.
Well, it is. I'm trying to think what decisions. Yeah, I am satisfied with the decisions of my house. Like they're not always in Loras's favor, but I think they're trying to do things for the greater good of the house and the realm. And what was the second question?
If like you can be in any other house, which one would it be?
Tyrell through and through. Really? I couldn't be in another house. No way.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ray, and I just really want to know, who do you think would win in a fight, Hodor or Khal Drogo?
Hodor on his own wouldn't stand a chance. I mean, he would just cry in a corner, you know. But a warged Hodor, an angry warged Hodor with that supernatural strength, which he does have, would be interesting. Because, I mean, Isaac is only a child, but we did some research before we did that scene with the White Walkers or the Whites, and he was sort of channeling, I mean, he comes from the stock of warriors, like Bran the Builder and stuff, and we were trying to channel that as well. He's got a lot of rage in him. I mean, it'll be like a child lashing out, but he's got a lot of strength behind him. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm up for it.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. Okay, we've seen dangers all around the world on the show in Game of Thrones, but between Westeros and Essos, which do you feel is more humanized and civilized?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think they're both pretty civilized, I reckon. It seems like Essos kind of is maybe more civilized in the kind of the arts and the kind of the mysteries of life. Like, you know, it's kind of maybe more spiritually evolved. Whereas I think Westeros is more evolved in things like maybe farming and politics and war, you know, those kind of aspects of life. So I think they're both civilized, but just in different ways.
I think that's one of the things that I like about Game of Thrones, because if I think about Westeros and Essos, it makes me actually think of Britain and then down into sort of Turkey, and you know what I mean. It actually makes me feel like it's a real place.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why it's successful, because people can kind of relate to it.
Yeah, you can relate.
You know.
Thank you.
With everybody who's left over, who would you guys like to see end up on the Iron Throne?
Okay. I'd like to see... Bran.
Bran?
100%. Yeah. Bran with like a council of really good people. So I'd like to see like Brienne by his side, obviously Hodor. Yeah, Bran.
And Brienne would be my choice. I think she'd be a really good queen. Strong and fair. Yeah, I think she'd be really good on the throne.
But she's a bit too fair. I think that's her downfall. Is she's a bit too loyal, and I think that's what Ned Stark was too loyal, and that screwed him over.
It did. You're right.
But she would
think she'd be a good queen.
sassy. Yeah, she'd be sassy. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Hi. My question is for Kirsten.
Yep.
I was wondering how you felt having just one line as your main line throughout the entire story, and what is your opinion on how Sansa Stark is going to be brought in season 6 or possibly like later on in the series?
So I can't hear the second question.
The second question is in regards to Sansa Stark and how her development has come about in season 5, and is it coming into season 6 as well, or is that going to be something for later?
Well, firstly, I haven't seen season 5, so I can cop out of that question really easily. I am, however, really excited for Sophie, who's now Phoenix in X-Men, and Jean Grey. I am so excited about that. But anyway, the one-word thing, when I first heard about it, to be completely honest, I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't really want to do this. Because, I'm a big guy. I've gone through life. It's kind of... Hodor is the kind of person that I would obviously try not to be. People assume that you're dumb because you're tall. That sort of thing. It's a mental thing. So I always try to portray the opposite of that. And then my first on-screen role is someone like Hodor. But then when I got into the character, I realized I could put a lot of colors into the character just with this word. And I love the character now. I don't want to play anybody else. And it's like a holiday from myself, because the only way to be Hodor is to really be Hodor. You can't sort of act it. You have to sort of really turn your brain off and sort of do things differently. And it's a really nice holiday from being Christian.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi. So I understand with Game of Thrones, you guys kind of film in a lot of different settings, and I was wondering if you had any bad experiences.
Bad experiences?
Yeah, like with the setting, like if you're in, I don't know, Scotland and...
Oh, there was this one time we were filming in Ireland on the coast. So we were on these big cliffs right by the sea, and it was really, really windy. And there was this huge extras tent, which probably housed around 1,000 extras and all their belongings and their costumes. And so we were filming, and I was in my trailer because I wasn't being used, and this hurricane was coming in off the sea. And the winds actually were so ferocious that they uprooted the extras tent, and all of it just went off into the sea. Luckily the extras went in there, but all of their belongings, all of the extra costumes, all just vanished into the sea. It was a real, big...
What about the landslide as well?
Yeah, there was a landslide this year, right?
At Castle Black.
Yeah. I don't know too much about that, but...
Yeah, we get a lot of rain in Ireland, a lot of rain. We had a landslide in the quarry where they were filming stuff for Castle Black, I believe. It's a beautiful location, though. Ireland's a very beautiful country.
But often with Thrones, you're always dealing with the elements.
Yeah.
So that's probably the other than that, all the cities we've been to, like Dubrovnik in Croatia is so beautiful. Iceland is amazing. Belfast is incredible. So all the places we've filmed are really beautiful. It's just dealing with the weather. The weather's nightmare sometimes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, man.
You guys DJ'd a couple months back. You specifically at Revolution Live. How did you like it? And do you plan on doing it again?
Revolution in Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
Yeah. Florida was probably my favorite state to DJ in, to be honest. If you put all the cities together, I had such a good time. I think I did Gainesville, Tallahassee, Tampa. I've done Pensacola. I did Fort Lauderdale. I had such a good time here, man. And I'm starting my tour again in Mexico in March. And so we're hoping to come back up through Florida. So we'll see what happens.
All right, looking forward to it.
Thanks, man.
We do have time for maybe 2 or 3 more questions, but while we wait for more people to line up. Now, when you guys are reading the script or you guys are finding out about the plots, do you have the same reaction as the fans do when we're actually watching it, unwind?
Yeah, definitely. When I get the scripts through, there are so many times that I'm just so shocked. Throw the script across the room because I can't believe it. I have to have 2 minutes just to kind of get to grips with what just happened. There are several times in the upcoming season where it's just what? So yeah, it's really exciting. And then even when I'm watching it back, I still have the same reaction because I just forget that I read it.
And you have the survival flick. You flick through all your character bits just to make sure you make it to the end.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so you guys have never met on the show. Can you guys act out what it would be like if you guys met?
No way.
What?
No way. I'm way too tired to be doing any of that.
I know, not paid.
I think it would probably. I think what would happen is Loras would probably be really arrogant. Would kind of look you up and down, think you're some kind of idiot, and just not give you much attention.
Kind of what he does in real life, you know.
Pretty much. And then you probably swap me away or something like that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Just curious, is our time on the show influenced any of the music that you guys have, written and produced? Like, has that led into your creation processes, acting and the time and the kind of feelings that you guys have had that led into your music?
I mean, the music I produce it's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really. It's very separate for me. I mean, I know I did a night called Rave of Thrones, but that's just a gimmick. It's literally just me and a DJ box playing completely unrelated music, and it's you guys who dress up. That's how it worked. I'm not a really gimmicky type person. I'm bad at that kind of crap. But yeah, it's very different for me. I need to keep them separate. I don't want them to cross over too much. What about you?
Well, I don't produce music, so. But yeah, Game of Thrones doesn't inspire my musical choice at all. Yeah.
I do love the music from Game of Thrones, though. I think it's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. Yeah.
Did you guys read any of the literature going into it? Did you read any of the literature, any of the books before doing the TV show?
I actually read a book this year called An Evil Cradling by Brian Keenan, and it's about this Irish journalist who went to Beirut to teach English, and he was kidnapped and put into solitary confinement for 4 or 5 years. And so I read that book this year because I'm in prison, so I wanted to see what it was really like for someone to be in solitary confinement, to be tortured, to kind of go through that kind of stuff. And I found that really useful, really, really useful, reading a man's account on what it's like to be in those circumstances. So yeah, I found that really, really helpful to kind of help Loras imagine what it must be like to be in that situation.
Sure.
And also because Hodor is such a pure character, I didn't want to read the books. I didn't want to be sort of
knowledgeable,
tainted by what I knew was coming. But that's my excuse for not reading them.
Just lazy.
It's a really bad excuse.
There's always time.
Yeah, I'm never going to.
They're not going anywhere.
Never going to read them.
So you guys are both performers in two mediums, as far as acting and music. Which of those two art forms do you guys prefer doing?
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Really difficult.
They kind of touch different parts of your creative needs. They're such different entities.
Yeah.
It's hard to choose one over the other. I love music. I fucking love it. It touches a part of me that acting could never touch. But on the other side, I love acting. I love it. But there's they're very different entities. I enjoy them both for what they are, and I think it's really healthy to have both.
I think it's similar for me in some ways. I think for me it's like DJing is like an emotional mirror for me. You can you choose music and create music, and you send that out into the crowd, and hopefully you'll get it back if it's a good night. Some nights it doesn't really work, and it's like, oh shit. But it's the same with acting. It's all about just harnessing your emotions and hopefully learning how to portray them. And it's the same in music, knowing what music to pick to sort of put it out there in the right way. It's all that kind of thing. Was that a terrible answer?
No.
That's great. Yeah, it's complicated.
Would you guys consider both kind of a cathartic experience?
Music, definitely. Cathartic experience. Yeah. Definitely, music, definitely. Acting, it depends acting, because when you're acting on set, it can be very rigid because the technical aspects. Doing something like theatre is definitely a cathartic experience. Doing something like this, being on stage,
right there.
live. Yeah. When you do live stuff, it's a cathartic experience. When you do more film stuff, it's less so. But then again, it depends on the scene. If you're doing a really intense scene, you have to go all in. Or if there's a lot of risk in the scene, that can be a cathartic experience as well. So, yeah.
After I do a DJ set, I am literally dead, emotionally and physically. I'm just
drained.
A complete husk. I just have to go straight to bed. It really drains me, but in a good way. I love it.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks.
All right, these are the final 2 questions, and then we're gonna take a big group photo, which is gonna be really fun.
Hi, so I have a question for both of you. Have you ever considered how much of Loras's arrogance and confidence has to do with him maybe overcompensating for his being gay, as opposed to just how strong of a warrior he is? And Hodor, have you ever tried to diagnose by like modern standards what your condition might be?
My condition? My condition? I have a lot of conditions. I mean, I tried not to look too far into this. I sort of thought, I've seen all the online theories and stuff, and I thought he was more on the autism spectrum, maybe. That's sort of where I sort of put him. But I didn't want to think too much about it. I thought the reasons for him having this might be more mystical, maybe a little bit magical, as opposed to being just dropped on his head. Because it is a fantasy show after all. I have to stress that I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, and that's pretty cool. I like that still. I like the fact that. Yeah. Well, I might know, but I couldn't tell you if I did. But I like the ambiguity of it.
Okay, so your question was, is the reason why Loras is arrogant because he's compensating for...
Not being accepted.
Yeah. No. I think he's arrogant because of his family and because of his title and because of the pomp of House Tyrell. In Highgarden, to be gay is very accepted, it's very liberal, and I don't think he feels ashamed at all about his sexuality. It's just that when he goes to somewhere like King's Landing, he has to cover it up a little bit because it's not kind of cool. So I don't think that plays into his arrogance anyway. I think his arrogance is just because, his arrogance is because he's too good, too young. You know, he's not had the life experience to really feel the hardships of life. He's just had the glory, and that's made him arrogant. But I guess since Renly died, he's gone through a series of events that is kind of making him a lot less arrogant. And yeah, season 6 is pretty fun. You know, the complete deconstruction of Loras. Right.
Thank you.
All right, final question.
I'm
Left
back.
Shark.
My question is, what is the most difficult scene for both of you to have recorded? And did the tattoo on your face hurt?
Firstly, the tattoo on my face, I was drunk. Oh. So I was a drunken 19-year-old. So no, it did not hurt. I don't regret it. I love it still, so that's not a problem. The hardest scene?
I always find the hardest scenes are when you're kind of like, there's a lot of elements to battle with. So if you're wearing armor, if you have a choreography, if you have a lot of lines, there's a lot of stuff going on around you, which can be quite distracting. I remember one of the first scenes I did when I shaved Renly's chest with that blade. It's a ridiculous scene, but like it was really difficult to do it because in one hand I had to shave Gethin's chest, and I had to remember the exact choreography every single time, and then also remember the lines, and it becomes a really technical thing, because if it's not technical, then in the continuity it won't read, so you have to do the same thing exactly the same as you did it on the master, and that was quite difficult just to get it all right, you know. It's just, yeah.
The most difficult scene was actually my first scene. I mean, it's physically, there's been more sort of demanding acting scenes, but the most physically difficult scene was my first scene I ever did in the show, which is where Tyrion presents the plans for the saddle to Bran. I had to walk Isaac up this huge room. I had to go down, do a squat, basically, with him on my chest and stand up. And we must have done that 80 times, seriously. And see, by about the 40th time, my head was spinning, the room was moving. I completely hit the wall, but I just had to keep going. That was possibly the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. That was such a short scene, but that's just the way it is.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, so right now we're going to take a group photo with you guys. So if you guys all want to come gather around the stage, you guys are going to stand right in front.
Whoa.
You're going to...
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, once again, let's thank Kristian Nairn and Finn Jones.